What's up everybody? So in this video we're going to be talking about DNA replication. So this is a really important topic, as you already know. And for SL we already covered it, right? But to be honest, SL just had to know a little bit detail here and there. Now for HL you're going to learn the full story. You're going to learn the entire truth. But don't worry, it's only a little bit more complicated, and I'm going to try and make it as easy and as clear as possible in this video. So, like usual here, we have this guy, right, Brad Pitt, our human being, and he's made up of billions of these little cells, right? Now, as I asked you millions of times before in other videos, what is this little organelle here? This little organelle is your nucleus, right? And this is the place where what is stored? This guy, DNA. Your DNA is stored in the nucleus. Now, remember, your DNA is this little long molecule, this helical-like molecule. And what's the point of your DNA again? Remember, your DNA, in the most simple way, is your instruction manual, your code, right? Your body, your cells have this code in the nucleus, and they're going to read it and do what it says. And that is the reason why you look the way you look and why you work the way you work, right? Why you can exist as a human being. Now, here's the thing. Now that you know where DNA is, do you even know why we care about DNA replication? Like, why do we need to know that? So, why does DNA replication need to happen? So the main reason is because our cells need to divide. Think about it, right? Our cells need to undergo cell division, right? And in doing so, when one cell divides to form two cells, think about it. Do you think these two baby cells are gonna have half of the amount of DNA compared to the original cell? Because if this cell divided in half, technically these two baby cells will have half the amount of DNA, right? Because if you had the full amount here and you divide it in half, then these two must have half of that, right? So this is not true, right? When a cell divides, we know when it divides by cell division, which you'll learn about in another chapter, when this happens, the daughter cells will be exactly identical to the original cell, right? They will be the same. It's exact duplication. So in order for that to therefore happen, guess what? Before the cell divides, it must duplicate, it must replicate its DNA so that when it divides, it now has double amount of DNA right now in this stage, so that when it divides, each of the baby cells have now the normal amount of DNA. So that's why we need to know about DNA replication, because it happens with every single cell division. Okay, very important. Now you might ask me, okay, but why do cells need to divide? Why do we even care about that? Two very important reasons, right? One being aging, right? The only way you turn from being a teeny tiny baby into this big woman or man, or maybe you're still a kid at this point, right? The only way you can become this big is if your cells divide, because you do not have bigger cells than a baby, you simply have more. So it's not the fact that the cells increase in size as you get older, it's the fact that they get more. So cell division is very important, therefore. Now another reason would be healing. So when you go and run outside, or simply just look at your phone while you walk into a wall or fall on your face, or whatever you do, I don't know what you do. Whatever you do, there's in some way you will get injured at some point. It's inevitable. Now, this wound, whatever wound you get, it doesn't stay there forever, right? You're not going to wait here and it's going to be like still there. No, right? It heals. Sometimes with a small scar, but whatever, it heals. So in healing, there's little cells there under your scab, right? And these cells are dividing and dividing and dividing, trying to fill up this space where you scrape the cells off, where the cells died, trying to replace them, right? So that's another reason why why cell division is very important. So now that you understand where our DNA is, right? It's in the nucleus. Now that you understand why we care about DNA replication, now we're going to finally start getting into the nitty-gritty details. But right before that, make sure you watch a video on the DNA structure. It's super important. It's super important to understand DNA replication. I already made a video on that, so I really encourage you to do that. But because I know many of you are going to be slightly too lazy, because to be honest, I probably wouldn't go watch that video either at the moment, because I'm already watching this one. For access to our full-length premium videos and so much more, head over to teachme.org now.